You live in a
The most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, No Filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as always, is the co-host with the most, Jive Turkey Nano. How we doing, brother?
Let's go. Great to be back, brother. Great to see you. I am doing fantastic on this Wednesday. It is Thanksgiving Eve. It feels like a Friday. Good vibes, my brother. Took a trip to China this weekend. It was nice. It was basically, fights on demand for myself. I don't know about you. I don't know if you were tuned in live, but boy, am I excited to tune in and break them down with you. And if you're with us here as well, appreciate it. Great to have you. Let us know where you're at in the comments. Let us know how you feel. Do you have an emoji reaction for us? What do you want us to talk about? We'll obviously break everything down here, but my brother, love the shirt. Love the enthusiasm, man, and just all around thankful and grateful, baby. Let's go. Even though I'm a Jive Turkey, this is the time of year I am. My folks are just simply targeted, I'll call it, but we'll be all right. We're hanging in there. I'm surviving.
It's tough for a turkey. It's tough for a turkey right now, folks. They're out there scrambling like them eggs, deviled eggs. You know what we're talking about, folks.
Gobbling away.
If you're in here right now in the chat, folks, we are a day out, right? We are a day out from Thanksgiving. So if you could just do us a huge favor and let us know in the chat if you do celebrate Thanksgiving. Let us know what your favorite dish is and your least favorite dish is. I'm just fucking curious. And with that being said, we will go ahead and jump into some skilled violence being broken down. So we had UFC Macau, which is definitely fun to say. Macau. A lot of fighters, out there making their debut in the UFC, right? A lot of them were fighting for a contract. They were finishing up the Road to UFC tournament, and it started off with a lightweight bout between Hayasir Mahashate against Nicholas Mota. We both had Mahashate. I'm glad we didn't bet a Mahashate on this, or else we'd be doing a Mahashate pretty soon in the show here. But my question is, do you think that Mahashate looked a bit off in there? What do you think was the biggest problem, and what surprised you the most about Mota's performance in there against him?
Yeah, brother, I appreciate you handing me the torch here, and I'll keep some meat on the bones for you. Short and sweet, Nicolas Mota's power, his ability to go in there and knock down our boy Mahashate a couple times, I think is what shocked me. It's probably what shocked him, and certainly will shock the body, right? Once you hit the reset button there, the brain, it certainly will throw you off. At a minimum, you're definitely going to be a little bit more cautious, may not take as many risks. I think that's what you ended up seeing throughout the fight. Mahashate started out strong, the bigger guy, in my opinion, in terms of just size or length, and was using that at first. But once Nicholas Mota sort of rushed in, got Mahashate moving backwards, dropped him, was a little more productive than Mahashate. But overall, not a ton of strikes. It wasn't a complete landslide victory. But Mota came out there, man, wasn't messing around. Got the job done, like I said, got those knockdowns. Not sure if anything else stood out to you, but to reiterate, I think it was the power and the persistence that Mota showed in there, and having Mahashate on his back foot, which I'm sure he's not used to. He's used to being the hammer, not the nail, as we like to say. But
100%.
What did you think, brother?
100%. Great breakdown, brother. He's definitely used to being the hammer and not the nail. And as always, solid analytical breakdown there, brother. Now, like you said, it wasn't a landslide victory. It wasn't one-way traffic, as we like to call it sometimes on the show here when it comes to skilled violence. But, I mean, he did exactly what he needed to do, right? Like, he started the fight off with a bang with that knockdown, and he finished the fight with a bang with that knockdown. Getting a knockdown in the first and final round is just like it's a flex, bro. Like, it really is. And it makes it pretty fucking hard pressed for the judges to say, oh, well, this guy didn't do enough to win the match. No, the kid won the match. So good on the kid. He went out there and threw just 10 more strikes than his opponent, but he outlanded him by 27 strikes. So he was definitely the more accurate man in there. And not only that, but I mean, he was doing a bit of headhunting, right? Like, I thought Mahashate was doing a pretty good job of going across the entire targeting area, right? He was landing to the head, he was landing to the body, he was landing almost as much to the leg as he was to the head. But Mota, I mean, usually you pay whenever you go out there and headhunt. This guy made it work for him, right? Good on him. Nicholas Mota looked absolutely incredible out there. My question is, did you have a name on the tip of your tongue for Mr. Iron Mota? Or do you want to leave that in the hands of the UFC matchmakers?
Most likely in the hands of them. They're certainly the professionals. I think we definitely love to do this, and it's a little bit easier when maybe they're a top 15 ranked opponent, or maybe inching closer and closer. To answer that question, which I think we typically like to ask here sort of rhetorically, I don't know if he's ready for necessarily top 15er, so I'm not going to throw him into the lion's den just yet. 155ers are full of absolute dogs. It is a murderer's row. But in my opinion, let's go, baby. I think he did move up a few spots, and I'm sure if I go on to Tapology or any rankings, Luna says hello. I'm sure we'll see.
In the backyard.
That's part of the backyard, baby, and in the house too, baby. I think I'd like to see maybe another level up. Yeah, Mahashate is certainly a contender there, but hey, let's get him in there with another top 155er. No on top of mind, but maybe someone in the top 25. I don't think he took any injuries. Anyone that's ready to get him back in there. Mota's a stud. What do you think, brother? I don't have anyone top of mind, but do you have any names, or should we just leave it to the pros?
Well, I mean, I definitely don't have any names at the top of my tongue, if I'm being honest with you here. I mean, the guy's doing all right. He's doing really good, but he's also not necessarily top 15 ready. And the lightweight division, as we know, is kind of a killer's row. Gun to my head, if you ask me, like, give me a name, I would say maybe like an Ishmael Bonfim. Maybe even a Jared Flash Gordon would be a really good test for him. I think both those guys would be game to take the fights too. They're not necessarily the type to say no to anybody. And neither of them are in the top 15. They're kind of closer to the top 30. I don't think you'd get like a Ignacio Bahamondes or like a Guram Kudadaladze to say yes to a fight like that. But those would be the other names that I would have written down. Moving into the next fight. Love you, brother. Moving into the next fight, we had a bantamweight bout between Xiao Long and Huang Bang Li. Obviously, winner of the best nicknames goes to Huang Bang Li, but Huang Bang was not doing the banging. He was receiving the banging in this fight. It was not a landslide, right? As we just said about the last fight. 87 significant strikes landed compared to 64, 92 total strikes landed compared to 68. Huang did land the takedowns in the fight. He attempted 2 of them, landed 1 of them. His opponent attempted 3 and landed 0. But I digress. He didn't need the takedowns because he got a knockdown instead for his troubles. And he ended up accumulating more control time with that 1 knockdown than his opponent did with the takedown. Also, he was just the more efficient fighter from start to finish here, right? He won every single round. Did Xiao Long 40 significant strikes to 29 in round 1, 35 to 25 in round 2, and 12 to 10 in round 3. I mean, there's not a whole lot to sprinkle on top of this one other than the fact that both young men looked pretty damn good in there. Xiaolong just looked to be a little bit better, and he looked like he was just a step ahead from the start to finish of this fight. It looked like Huang Bang just couldn't really find the range, couldn't find the distancing, and Xiaolong made him pay for it across the duration of the fight. So, Nano, did I miss anything there?
Covered all the bases, my brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, just to fill in a little extra color. Zhao Long, I think his last name certainly indicates he was ready for the long run on this one. I think his opponent, Quang Bang Lee, was certainly ready to go out there and bang, and he did so. But I did notice him slow down a little bit towards the end. Zhao Long, being the younger fighter, maybe anticipated that as well. Dude looks really strong as well, and do want to mention, the first two guys that fought, they had the traditional new Venom shorts and everything. It was nice. But what did indicate that they're part of the end of their show, end of the road, or fighting for a contract, I suppose, for their livelihood, literally. They did have the gray and the reds. It was a nice little, I don't know, little touch. I want to say nostalgia, but I appreciate that they did that. I wonder if maybe we'll see that more often, just some of those types of Ultimate Fighters, or I don't know, maybe if there's other ways to kind of I don't know, dedicate or to kind of showcase that they're part of that, or maybe they won the Ultimate Fighter, maybe they get like some custom shorts or something like that. But did appreciate the gray and reds as they were fighting, and yeah, Xiao Long just continued to put his foot on the gas and edged it out, man. Got the KO victory in the late in the third, which to carry the power 10 to 15 minutes into the fight, that definitely showed me something. Do I have a name that's next for Xiao Long? Not necessarily. Bantamweight division, another absolute stacked division. The top 15s had a lot of movement. I think this guy certainly goes. He just got signed, right? He just got a contract. I'm gonna say he goes up, but it's like, hey, anywhere's from up when you start at ground zero. So the guy's finally signed in. I think he's just gonna be ready to get back in there as soon as possible, and I'll be excited to see it as well. Dude's tough.
Dude is definitely tough.
That is.
Talking about Xiao Long, dude is definitely tough, and I mean, I don't have a name on the tip of my tongue for him, but I will say this. One thing that I have to say, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, is this. And I know I'm going to ruin every single person listening to this, because you're going to forever hear his name like this for the rest of your time. He should walk out. What up, crossover? Let's go, my guy. Let's go.
Yo, what up?
Glad to have you, brother. We're talking about this Xiao Long fight and how he should really, from this point on, he should walk out to Red Hot Chili Peppers, other side. Because, come on. Xiao Long, will he fight? You know what I'm saying?
Great song.
It's a great song. And that's all I can think of every time they say his name. So, Xiao Long. I'm excited to see this guy step in there again. He looked really nice in there against his opponent on Friday evening, Saturday morning, as it is in America for this card. Now, moving into the next fight, this was one that I was most excited about going in. And I'll be honest, I was most let down by going into this fight, actually watching it. Right? And shout out, big man. Woohoo! Woohoo to you. Welcome to the chat. Glad to have you. Now, I thought Loner Kavanaugh was going to go out there and do bad things to Jose Calcifier Ocho. That simply was not the case. There was only an 8-strike differential between them in total strikes. Jose actually got 36 seconds more control time, and there was only one significant strike separating them. So, I mean, come on. And I mean, before we dive into this breakdown, fucking 10 toes in, head first, shout out S-Dogs MMA in the chat. Gotta hit the air horns for that guy.
Let's go. Where my dog's at. Let's go. He's in the chat, baby. Good to see you. Let's go.
As they say, the dog's barking in the backyard.
Let's go.
So yeah, man, this was an interesting fight. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit let down by it. No, I'll let you take the lead on this one. I don't have as much thoughts on it as I thought I would on Friday. So Tell us how you really feel.
It was a competitive matchup for sure. It was back and forth. Our boy walking that loner road was looking solid, man. He had some really good movement. He was pushing the pace. I felt like he was definitely winning the fight. Jose Ochoa was a tough kid, man. He had some moments in there. The striking differential was obviously razor thin, and I think a lot of that was via Lohner's punches and his boxing pedigree going up against Ochoa's leg kicks and his leg strikes. It was frankly for me hard to judge. I'm not going to sit here and try to say I was watching it with those lenses on. I was, fired up on a Saturday, maybe some adult bevies in me as well. So just watching as a fan. And to your point, I thought it was fun, had some really high hopes. It had some exciting moments, some good exchanges. I saw some really good defense, some good movement from Lohner. And I saw a tough kid in Ochoa. It just tough to score. And I guess, how do you look at the leg strikes and its impact versus the punching? Those significant strikes, obviously, close as well. But I think, and they're kind of talking about it on the commentary, Lawrence Sanko and Michael Bisping, that is. But they're always one kick away or one punch away, right? And with those leg kicks, when you're taking so many, obviously it's 1-for-1, I guess, on the score sheet. But unless you see it kind of slowing your opponent down, or you see them kind of pick up, like a Marcus McGee last week, or maybe they switch stances, or they might even fall or try to step backwards, like those types of moments, that never really happened. Lohner didn't really have any oh shit moments on the feet either. Again, Ochoa's tough. They both were defensively sound, which those type of cagey affairs, just like a low scoring football game, may not be the most exhilarating, but to your point, it was still high level violence at its best. And Lohner, to me, I thought he won the eyeball test, and don't have anything next for these guys. I don't think you necessarily skyrocket them. They're young in their career, both proven to be tough sons of guns, going into a different place, part of the world, and going out in your shield. And stylistically, both fun to watch, but styles make fights, and I think this one was a little bit, we're talking a little over 100 strikes total for both guys combined in the flyweight division. It's maybe unheard of. Some guys get that in a round. So again, it was calculated, but it was a good defensive cagey affair, and I thought Lohner won, but Ochoa definitely showed to be a tough guy to me, just to reiterate that again. But let's go, baby. Let us know what y'all thought in the chat. We got some bodies here. We got some heads. I could be talking crazy. Maybe y'all thought Ochoa won, but it was unanimous. The Lohner road was not alone on this one. Let's go, baby.
I'll tell you this, Nano. A, great breakdown, and B, when it comes to your thoughts on this fight, you're not walking a Lohner road. All right. I'm on that road with you. I think he did just enough to win this fight. Nothing more, nothing less. He did. My issue with the fight isn't what he did; it's what he didn't do. He didn't impress me. He didn't go out there and shock and awe me the way that he did in his fights and road to UFC. And it showed that there might be an issue, right? There might be a skill deficit that he's going to face against these people once he gets into the upper echelon of UFC fighters in the UFC flyweight division. Now, with that being said, do I have a name on the tip of my tongue for him? I do. It's actually a two-namer because these guys are going to fight each other, and both of them just so happen to actually be 10-0 right now. So we got Stuart Nickel is 8-1. His opponent, however, is 10-0 in Ray Saruya. I think Ray Saruya is probably going to go out here and get it done. I think he's going to go out here and get a fairly dominant finish in this fight over Stuart Nickel. And that's nothing against Stuart Nickel. It's nothing against Kakamura, right? And it's everything for Ray Saruya fighting out of Kashiwa, Chiba, Japan. This man is an absolute monster. He is 10-0, 4 wins by knockout, 4 wins by submission, 2 wins by decision. He can get it done anywhere it goes. He also is a Road to UFC alum. He won his fight against Gino Shuyo. And then after that, he was handed to Carlos Hernandez on UFC 303, which, of course, you remember was Alex Pineda versus Yuri Prokaska 2. And, I mean, he went out there and he handed this man a unanimous decision loss. So, give me Saruya against Loner Kavanagh. I mean, I know that it's potentially putting out one man's star to an extent, but I think it'd be a learning experience for both young men in that fight. And I honestly don't know who I'd go with, but I do know that we'd probably get a very flashy looking fight. That would be a striker's delight, as we like to say. And shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the Fight Week Show. What up, Ola? How we doing, brother? Hope you're having a blessed
Let's go.
day. And if you didn't watch the show earlier, make sure you go check it out. They do a little breakdown on the news, the dust up, the shakedown of MMA. So make sure you check that out on the Fight Week Show on YouTube, folks.
Let's go. Venga, vamos. Good to see you. Good to have you.
With that being said,
unfortunately not a fight week this week, but if he's got the show, we're tuned in. Let's go.
It's not a fight week this week, but you know what? That's okay. We still have fun. And speaking of having fun, we had another decision on our hands in this next one. It was a split decision, though. It was flyweight out between Carlos Hernandez and Niamjargal Tumendimbarel. Oh my gosh, what a name, what a name. And with a loss, we might not have to say it again so soon. You know, you hate to see it. It was the best of times. I'll say it was the worst of times. This fight was tough, right? Carlos Hernandez went out there and got 4 minutes and 45 seconds of control time. For those of you that are bad at math, in a 5-minute round, that's damn near a round of control time. So pretty fucking dominant stuff from him. His opponent was only able to land a total of 28 strikes. A total of 26 of those were considered significant. He did get a reverse. He did get, some submission attempts in there, but it was just a little bit too little too late. There wasn't enough going on for him. And I mean, he just seemed lost in there, in my opinion, against his opponent. I thought Tumendimbarel was going to go out there and get it done. That simply was not the case. We were both wrong on this one. I think most of the world was probably wrong on this one. Man, I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on it, but maybe as much time spent on this fight as control time for his opponent, Mr. Carlos Hernandez.
Yeah, we'll keep it short and sweet. I mean, our boy here, Carlos Hernandez, was certainly trying to do his best Marab impression, going for takedown after takedown after takedown, again and again, otra vez. But it was a fun fight. It was back and forth. Obviously, I was a little biased. I was going for our boy with the cool name and the KO artist himself, Niamjargal Tumendimbarel. But Carlos Hernandez was showing his speed and his ferocity with his takedowns, and that seemed to really be the name of the game. It was a split decision. It was close, but no cigar for our boy. The KO artist was not able to get through. The wrestling guru here, and styles make fights. This one was, to your point, maybe a little bit more on the lackluster side. And in that flyweight division, looks like according to Tapology, our boy Carlos Hernandez currently ranked 33rd. I'm looking at Andre Mascote Lima ranked 26, a Tim Elliott at 25, and that feels maybe even a little too rich for my blood. To your point, I don't know if you have necessarily reward them that much. I think those guys are both potentially dudes looking to fight up even higher, not necessarily go down in terms of overall rankings or names or what have you. So, I think it kind of is where he is now, and you answer the bell when it's called. But it was just it was another one. And keep it moving, baby.
It was another one. Man, I'm not mad at the Tim Elliott pick. He was originally supposed to fight Tatsuro Taira back in May and hasn't had a fight scheduled since then, since that one got canceled. I also wouldn't be mad at him fighting a Tatsuro Taira. Like, Tatsuro Taira moved up very, very quickly, got hit by that Icarus effect, got pole vaulted back down a little bit. So I wouldn't be mad at that. But the other name I had written down, so I had Tim Elliott and I had Jimmy the Brick Flick written down for myself. I like Jimmy Flick.
I like it.
I think he's a solid fighter. He's coming off of a loss to Nate Maness. Nate Maness got cut. I'm not 100% sure if Jimmy the Brick Flick did. So if he's still on the roster, maybe give him a shot against Carlos Hernandez. I think that'd be a fun little dust up. And the Fight Week show said, I love that shirt, Olin. We love the AKA gym and its students. Bro, shout out. That's the home gym. That was the original gym. Bro. Yeah. I love that for me too. That's definitely some of the best memories of my life at that gym. As I've already mentioned and referenced once, as Foghorn Leghorn said on Looney Tunes, it was the best of times. I'll say it was the worst of times. I don't think I've torn so many muscles in one room, let alone one building in my life. So shout out that big red room.
It's an unforgiving place there. Oh man.
Yeah, when you'd walk into that red room on a Saturday, you knew you were either going to have the best day of your life or the worst day of your life. There was not an in between. That's just the way the cookie crumbled, man. Speaking of the way the cookie crumbles, my goodness, do we have a fight to talk about, folks? That's right. We got Fang Shao Kahn, sounded like a fucking Mortal Kombat character. And then we got Shi Ming, a.k.a. Dr. Stoppage, a.k.a. Shi Ming Business. You know what it is. Shi Ming is probably my new favorite fighter. Nano, I tried to tell you. Sort of guy, did the boxing. I know she had the reach deficit. I know she had the cute little glasses, looked like maybe a female Chinese Harry Potter. But bro, Shi Ming Business. I tried to tell you, bro. She had Shao Kahn looking for her consciousness like, where are you? And she's so sorry because she's a medical professional. She felt bad for what she did. She probably caused some CTE, but you won't know till 10 years from now. That was just off the cusp. Had to. No, but Shi Ming getting the knockout, and then as she got the finish, it felt very Uriah Hall, the Ultimate Fighter-esque. When he knocked out his opponent's on the ground, like locked up, body can't move, and Uriah Hall's standing over him like worried, genuinely concerned with what he just did. That's what Shi Ming looked like, man. She laid her opponent out flat, and then she just stood over her like, oh boy, what have I done? As a medical professional, I know not good things. So, man, just a solid performance for Shi Ming. She was down on significant strikes. She was down on total strikes, but boom, headshot, dead. She hit the Leon Edwards, folks. It was nasty stuff. Just a beautiful head kick at distance. Nasty. Chin to chin, as we like to say. And the lights go out in Georgia, folks, or at least in Saturday in Macau. Beautiful victory. And I mean, her post-fight speeches are doing nothing but get her extra fans, right? Like, she's a full-time doctor. Her parents don't know that she's a UFC fighter. If this was an RPG, she would be like plus 10 stats in Asian American culture. Because come on, like, that's insane. She is the plot from fucking Mulan. It's wild, bro. I'm truly impressed with this woman. You bet against her. We bet a shot on this one. It was the first one of the night. I'm going to do a shot with you on this one because honestly, Shi Ming Business, and so do we, folks. And as our guy Nate the Train says, the dogs bark in the backyard. This girl's a fucking dog, kid.
Oh man, she is a dog, and I will absolutely do a shot. Proudly eat my words here. I'm glad you mentioned it a few times, but I wasn't gonna let it go, be it unsaid. Shi Ming Business. I mean,
Shi Ming Business.
That has to be Shi Ming Business, man.
Bro, her nickname should be Dr. Stoppage.
I think they had Dr. Stoppage, Dr. Sleep or something. Yeah, what do they say? I think they said Dr. Sleep on the podcast.
Dr. Sleep thrown around. As soon as I saw the fight, I literally tweeted I said, is that the best Dr. Stoppage we've ever seen in the UFC?
Dr. Stoppage, yeah, it's Dr.
Like,
Night
that's
Night.
such a fun play on words, bro. Like,
yeah. Oh man. And then Shi Ming's Business.
They just recently added Dr. Stoppages to the newest UFC game. You know what I mean? Like, they added that when the game came out. Took them 5 games to add that. I mean, maybe it'd only take them 6 to add Shi Ming. You know what I'm saying?
Shi Ming.
Real Dr. Stoppage.
Yeah. and she move.
She's nice, but she also mean.
She Ming. Yeah, man. I mean, we could keep it short and sweet. Obviously, not a high joke for Ming Xing being the shorter opponent here, and partially why I bet against her. But it was a fun fight, man. It was a back and forth affair. Zhao Khan, like the name certainly suggests, was top tier, top level in terms of her opponent and her pedigree. Using her length, I thought she was on her path to victory, to be honest. She was stuffing some of those takedowns. She got that reversal in the first round, which I thought was slick. Got some ground and pound. So from my perspective, Ming Shi really needed something to turn the tables a little bit. Frankly, like you kind of saw early in the night, or just at times you kind of had to say, fuck it, fuck the strategy. This girl's obviously long and she knows how to use her range well. She's not going to make a mistake and just let you come on in without taking a shot or two. So it's like you kind of have to bite on your mouthpiece and say F it and get through that little space gap there and challenge her. And she did. Over time she got there, finally getting in that third round, getting to a point where she shot enough takedown, dripping the body, go for the leg kicks. And you see her drop her hand. She timed it really well. The high kick was timed perfectly. It was as Fang was throwing one of her three-piece combinations, which I'm sure she probably saw that look throughout the fight. As soon as you see her deploying it, you have your opportunity. Headshot, bang. I mean, what a absolute performance, and she got performance of the night. So extra $50K there. Road to the UFC contestants, excuse me. So shout out to her for making a huge statement victory, getting the little extra bonus with the contract as well. Love to see it, and I'd love to see her get back in there as soon as possible. I don't have any names top of mind. I mean, this is a new kid on the blocks, literally. So I'd say the flyweight, the strawweight division here certainly has another up and comer, but we use that Icarus effect kind of word thrown around a lot here. We don't want to see that per se, and get another win, keep stacking up victories like that. I mean, this is a oh shit moment. That's the first highlight reel, and hopefully her long career here in the UFC. But that was a fun one, man. I'll happily do the shot here again to eat my words. Shi Ming's business, and I guess potentially the new name, we'll say Dr. Stoppage, coined by MMAnomaly here on the No Filter Show. You heard it here first. Let's go. And what's up, Gaz Ninja? Great to see you as well.
What is up, Gaz Ninja? If you drink, do a shot. If not, we'll do one for you. And you just stay hydrated, folks. Cheers to Shi Ming Business, a.k.a. Dr. Stoppage, a.k.a. Dr. Sleep, whatever you want to call her. As long as you watch her, we're happy.
And watch us, too. Don't get it twisted. We do appreciate that.
That's a given, folks.
Come on.
Yeah, man, 50K bonus. That's 362,350 Chinese yuan. So it's a lot of dough, brother. It's a lot of dough. I was just curious what the conversion rate was there. So speaking of conversion rate, I think it's statistically speaking a fact that if your name starts with Dong Hyun, you probably got some stun gun tendencies in your hands, right? And all in favor of Dong Hyun Choi changing his nickname that is non-existent to Stun Gun 2.0. Come on, can we do that? Like, I think this dude needs to take over the mantle of Dong Hyun Kim. You may remember that name from UFC. If you don't, you may remember that name from season 2 of Physical 100 on Netflix. Definitely watch that show. Very, very fun watch. Dong Hyun Choi is very, very similar. I mean, I haven't even mentioned his opponent's name. I feel bad. Kiru Sahota felt a bit like a sacrificial lamb on Saturday morning. 2 minutes and 36 seconds is all it took into that final round for his opponent to get it done. By final round, I mean the first round, right? I mean, this was just nasty stuff. His opponent came out there, didn't really seem to put a lot of respect on the name of Kiru Sahota. He was walking through shots. He was walking through punches. And he was making a miss when he was swinging. The guy swung 26 times. By the way, Dong Hyun Choi only swung 19. Oh, by the way, he was 5-12 on total strikes landed. The dude that threw less landed more than twice as many. So this is why efficiency is key, folks, right? It doesn't matter if you do this all day. It matters if you do it right. You got to turn that shit over and land, right? And you could see that one man was not. Dong Hyung Choi got it done with punches at distance. It was nasty stuff here. Again, I was very, very thoroughly impressed with this kid. I didn't remember him personally from Road to UFC. So this was my first time getting a little core memory action of this kid. And I will definitely be paying attention to his future fights. Everything looked good for as long as the fight was. Didn't really download a ton of data on him myself personally, because again, like he only landed 12 strikes. He only attempted 19. He didn't need to do anything else than that because he got the damn finish. Nano, what stood out to you most about this fight and more so about this young man, Dong Hyung Choi?
Yeah, man. A couple things for sure. Appreciate the breakdown. Appreciate you handed it over here. Man, I mean, first off, that right hand was certainly powerful. I mean, for a flyweight here, these 125ers to be dropping someone like that, certainly impressive. I know you didn't necessarily get to take away too much. Same here, but we don't need much. I think the only thing, and really, it's a short fight. I was able to run it back a couple times. What you do see is good movement from both guys. Want to obviously give Kiru Sahota his flowers as well for making it to the finals here. Unfortunately, that was the end of the road for our boy Kiru for now. Maybe we'll see him back. But Dong Hyung Choi, I mean, he saw the read. He hit him like he, I guess, sort of was off the left hand counter, stepped back, hit him with the 1-2 right overhand, and then did the same thing again. And that second one is really what put him out. So I'd say, hey, good instincts at a minimum. Like you see a read, you have a strong overhand right. So you got to your mark, you throw it, you land it. Obviously, all things got to come together, but huge performance for him. And then the other thing, my other big takeaway, and why I'll definitely be a fan, and like you said, be excited to see him get back in there as soon as possible, is dude's just absolutely excited. Like a lot of guys get fired up, maybe they're angry, maybe they're yelling or cursing, or they're pointing at Dana, "You sign me, give me bonus," or "I kill everybody," like Kamzat kind of coined it most recently. But what you see from this guy, Dong Hyung Choi, is just pure excitement. I mean, happiness. He's smiling ear to ear. And then he starts dancing. I wish we had a little clip of it. We'll have to try to find one.
Dude,
maybe post it as a reel.
Try and clip that for the episode.
Dude, so funny. It literally reminded me of like my little cousin, my little nephew and niece. Yeah, like they get a little gift or toy, or they score a goal or something, and it's booty shaking, hands up, just woo, woo. Like I feel like that's probably what he's doing in his head. Woo, woo. I knocked you out. It's like just pure kid at heart came out there. I think that's like maybe the coolest thing that stood out to me as well. Again, I'm all about the violent guy. I probably see myself getting pretty fired up. Let's go, I'll kill you all, whatever. But just seeing someone just like, oh yeah, it was pretty cool. Can appreciate the humility and just the authenticity there. And hey, man, get him back in there as soon as possible. I'll be looking for Dong Hyung Choi to get back in as soon as possible. And congrats on the contract. I wish he would have got $50K. Maybe he got a little extra in that contract. I know Dana White likes to take care of his guys and gals. But that was a great finish, man. Sky's the limit for the kid. Don't have anyone next, like you said. Couldn't really download too much more data than that, and so don't want to just blindly throw out a top 15 or anything of that nature. So can't wait to see him back in there, though.
It's tough. It's tough when the fight's sub 3 minutes. So, yeah, you can't really download a whole lot. I'm sorry. I'm cracking up over here at the fight week. Let's hope she means business in her next fight in the UFC. Don't fuck around and need herself a doctor. Right you are, sir. Right you are. And then he said, where's my manners? Happy holidays to all you Americanos.
Let's go. Appreciate you.
If you don't celebrate over there across the pond, I don't know what holidays are different, which are the same. I'm sure you guys don't celebrate Thanksgiving. But if you don't, I hope you have just an exceptional Thursday this week and an even better Friday. So we appreciate you. Look, man, I know it doesn't sound like you necessarily have names on the tip of your tongue for this guy. I have two. So I got one for me and I got one for you. There you go. You can take whichever one you want. I got Sumu Derji, the Tibetan Eagle. You might remember him from his fight of the year, what was dubbed fight of the year in the MMAnomaly Awards. Shout out, folks. Those are going to be coming up soon. Whenever we have these bye weeks for the fights, you bet your fucking sweet ass we are going to be doing episodes for those. We're going to be opening up the polls early on. Let us know on Twitter. Let us know on YouTube in the comments after the episode wraps. What is your fight of the year so far? What is your sub of the year so far? What is your knockout of the year so far? And what categories and awards would you like to see us give out on this year's show, folks? So Sumadaraji, the Tibetan Eagle, man, that fight against Matt Schnell, I'm probably gonna go back and watch this right after this episode. It's so fucking good. As a Matt Schnell fan, my goodness, I love that fight. But I also hate that fight as a Matt Schnell fan because he got dropped like 6 fucking times, but somehow still won. And I told you I have another name. I'm not stalling. Okay, I do really have another name. We're talking about our guy. Ode, 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 Ode. That's right, folks. We're talking about the Jamaican sensation, Ode Osborne, folks. I think that'd be a banger of a matchup for him against Dong Hyun Choi. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. I like it, brother. Fired up. Fired me up, baby. I think the chat likes it as well, man. Hard to argue, man. You built a good case. Let's go. Let's see it. Come on.
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. I'm fired up. I'm ready to fucking go, kid. Yeah, I've been excited to talk about these fights for the last few days, man.
It's been too long. It's been too long.
Too damn long. It's about damn time. Moving into the next one. We had a fight. It was on a fight night. It was a bantamweight bout between Su Young Yu and Bergang Giliasi. Look, we were right about this one, folks. We thought Yu Su Young was going to win. We were not part of the Bear Gang. We've been a part of gangs, but never the Bear Gang. All right. Not here. Not up in here, folks. We're more of a dog kind of guys ourselves. So we liked Jiu-Jitsu, Su Young Yu in this. And look, folks, he didn't even really have to use his Jiu-Jitsu, just really his grappling. Not a single submission attempt was actually thrown. Again, just grappling. He got 4 minutes and 46 seconds of control time, almost a whole freaking round, dude. Come on. The dude seemed pretty dominant. Oh, and by the way, doubled up on the strikes landed, 85 to 48. Oh, by the way, quadrupled up on the significant strikes landed, 42 to 9. That's not a typo. That's not a misread. 42 to 9. It was sad stuff, folks. This one was pretty one-way traffic, in my opinion. I didn't think Bear Gang had a whole lot to do. It actually looked like he got caught in a bit of a bear trap in this fight against Su Young Yu. And, I mean, that's all she wrote. He just seemed to have an answer for him every single time that bell would ring. It would just get worse for him. And at that point, I'm going to go ahead and tag you in, brother. What were your thoughts on Su Young Yu's performance and the display of jiu-jitsu?
To your point, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It was a little bit of that jiu-jitsu, but it was really just a well-balanced mixed martial arts attack. I mean, he was good in the clinch. He was good on top. He was good at stuff in the takedown attempts. Well, I mean, granted, Bear Gang did get his one takedown, but just showing persistence with his grappling and takedown game himself, being Su Young Yu. To me, it just felt like it was, his fight to lose from the gate, from the jump. Started to see a little bit of Bear Gang, fighting at the end there, trying to, throw up some Hail Marys. I'm sure his coaches were telling him that, we need to see a little bit more urgency. But it just felt like the South Korean here, Su Young Yu, just a little bit more well-rounded when it comes to that true mixed martial arts game. Not much else I can say. I mean, again, we're talking about a fight here. He did almost double his opponent in strikes, but about one. So 85 for Su Young and then 48 for Bear Gang. 2 out of 5 takedowns for our boy Su Young. Not necessarily the most high octane, but it was well rounded in terms of the grappling, the jiu-jitsu, and just Su Young being an absolute dog. I don't have any names top of mind for the bantamweight division here and what Su Young Yu should do next, but he's got a contract. He's we're going to be seeing him for at least a couple fights here, I would assume. I don't think they just fight one contract deals. I'm sure it's probably 2 to 3 fights at least. So you're seeing more of a Su Young Yu here in the bantamweight division. And I would say having a good balanced approach like that's probably best when you're looking at the champion there, Merab Dvalishvili, who will absolutely grapple with the best of them. So he's somebody. He's somebody to talk about here. Like the name as well. Be rooting for him. But that's about all I got for him. And hoping, up and to the right for Bear Gang. Hopefully he keeps on going and keeps on growing, like we like to say around here. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. With that being said, I do have not 1, not 2, but 3 names for him. And
Let's
all
go.
3 of them, you're actually gonna love this. All 3 of them are literally because of the nickname Jiu-Jitsu, and because I want to see him have to flex that muscle, right? So first up, we got an anti-Jiu-Jitsu guy. We got a grappler, right? We got a Spartan. We've got Cody, the Spartan Stamen, coming off of a loss, actually coming off of back-to-back losses to Douglas Silva de Andrade, Taylor Lapilus, and Damon Blackshear, right? I think that would be a very, very fun test for him. He's a strong grappler, and it would be a good test for him. Now, other than that, I'm going up the ladder here, right? I'm going up the ladder the entire time. So that's bottom. Moving up, we got Hani Yaya. That's right, folks. The man who came out against Hyung Yo Kang and got that Yunnan. The man who came out and got that nasty round 2 arm triangle over Ray Rodriguez. And the man who's coming off of back-to-back losses via knockouts from both young men, Montel Jackson and Victor Henry. Hani Yaya. I think that'd be a fun jiu-jitsu back and forth. And if neither of those young men are willing to take it up, I'm going to go with the last guy that really put it to him. I'm going to go Victor Henry, La Mangosta, who, of course, got the TKO win over Hani Yaya and then lost via guillotine choke to Charles Jourdain. Give me Victor Henry. I like all 3 of those fights. If I had to pick one above all of them, I like the Victor Henry one the most. But what do you think?
I like that. It's got a narrative behind it. I like that as well. The Spartan Stamen, I think he's kind of a little bit more in like the twilight of his career versus finding someone that's fresh off a UFC contract here and a little bit more green around the gills. But there's a story to that Victor Henry about there, and that's a dude that certainly mixes it up equally as well. Styles make fights. 2 hard things are going to collide here, and curious to see who's going to be the one to come on top. I like that, brother. Sign me up. You're on fire.
Hey, shout out to Ola at the fight week. He said, Nano sounds like an artist. You make this whole shit sound different and palatable.
Okay. I like it, baby. Come on.
Love that. Don't inflate him up too much. His head's got to fit through the door.
It's gonna take up the screen. It will take up the screen. I appreciate a 5-week show. Just what to say to tickle my fancy. But no, man. I consider myself an artiste, more of a not a true artist in like the physical sense, more of like a conceptual artist. But I appreciate it, man.
Love to see. Let's go,
baby. Let's go.
With that being said, we got the next fight here. Moving on from the Bear Gang, we had Ozzy Diaz coming in against Zhang Mingyang Nano. My goodness. I think we may have both been on the same one here, right? Or were you on Ozzy Diaz? No, we were both on the same one.
No, yeah, we were taking the hometown kid here for sure.
The Mountain Tiger. Nano, tell us how that Mountain Tiger made you feel.
The Mountain Tiger made me feel real excited, man. He made me feel actually a bit fearful for those lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my. Because our boy Zhang Mingyang came out here guns blazing, man. I was really impressed with what he came out there and did against a tough Ozzy Diaz. He's a savvy vet in the UFC, and we talked about that. We gave him his flowers. We knew, hey, the judges were not going to be needed here. They could take this one off. And I do want to reiterate, because the fans came alive for this fight here, but China has some great fans, some fantastic fans. You heard every strike, every exchange. You heard nothing but the whole crowd like jumping out their seats, the reactions. was great. It was great to see reversals. Like they were well in tune the entire time. So had to give them flowers there. And boy, did they erupt when the hometown kid snuck in a little slithery, sneaky snake there. The elbow right out of the clinch there. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. It doesn't take much, man. You know, to generate power from here to there is all it takes for the mountain tiger here. Yeah, man. I mean, he looked ferocious as a mountain tiger does. And I mean, dude, what else can I say? The light heavyweight has another one here, right? I mean, you know, these things tend to happen with these light heavyweights, these heavyweights, like typically shorter fight times. I mean, Tom Aspinall's average fight time's like 2 minutes, and he's a champ for the heavyweight division as we speak today. But man, let me tell you, I mean, when we look at the lightweight division, and again, I've been a little gun shy today, y'all. I haven't been necessarily giving big names. I'm like, he's not ready. He's not ready. I think Zhang Migyang is ready for the call. I think there's some guys there in the top 15 that he can definitely go in there and fight. China's urging and itching and clawing and scratching like a tiger does for a top 15 or a guy they can all rally behind. And unfortunately, there's someone that is coming off a loss in August. He's somebody with atomic power. I'm talking about Alonzo Menafield here. I'm going to dish it back off to you. I think he's ready to fight for that 15 spot. Why not, man? Why not? Why not now?
My guy's throwing him to the top 15 right away.
I am. I was very impressed. I was very impressed with the performance.
He was very impressed with his performance.
The light heavyweight needs some shaking and stirring, baby.
It does. I'm just afraid you might be hitting the guy with the Icarus effect, big dog. That's tough. That's
told you I've been gun shy, but I'm going guns blazing on this one. I'm going all in, all chips all in on this one, y'all. You heard it here first.
Alonzo Menafield is definitely not a terrible idea. I'm not going to go that far outside of that realm. So, oh man, I was thinking Iwan Cutelaba.
I like
another
it.
person with Hulk-like power. You know what I'm saying? So Atomic or Hulk, you pick your poison, folks. I'd be happy either way, because what it all boils down to is the fact that Zhang Mingyang, the Mountain Tiger, was an absolute animal in there on Saturday. The dude just looked incredible from start to finish. Only took him 17 significant strikes, 19 total strikes to get it done. And as you said, beautifully, like the break from the clinch, the push away elbow just snuck in and he turned it over so fucking quick. Like, just beautiful stuff. Picture perfect finish and picture perfect game plan. The way that he went out there and executed, you just knew. It seemed like he knew something his opponent didn't. It seemed like he got the script and knew that it ended in a
fatality.
So good on him. Great stuff. And yeah, give that guy either a top 15 in Alonzo Menafield or someone right outside of it in Iwan the Hulk Cutelaba. Happy with either of those.
I agree, brother. I couldn't agree more.
And with that being said, folks, it's time. It's time. Bruce says it better than I do, so we'll let him do it.
It's time!
That's right, Bruce. It's time for the main card to start, folks. We had Carlos Oberg coming in at light heavyweight as well against Volkan. No time, Ozdemir. I tried to tell you. Ozdemir is running out of time in the light heavyweight division. He has no time. Nano, support up already?
I don't know if you saw me there, but I did.
I
am for That was a rhetorical question then, sir. You know I'm poured up, baby.
It was a bit of a rhetorical question there, you know. But you know, I poured up a little one to go along with you. You know, we don't let people do shots alone. But hey,
my man,
I feel like I'll be doing a handful of them with you tonight because your boy was definitely on one when it came to Saturday morning. We'll talk about how I was yawning during the card, and there was some other yawning going on during the card. You know. But with that being said, we have a shot to do, and then Nano's going to do his breakdown. So let's do this shot for Black Jag, Carlos Oberg, Mr. Steal Your Girl, Mr. Steal Your Consciousness. If you leave those hands down too long, folks, if you do a shot with us. If not, we hope you drink water. We hope you hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. And above all else, we hope you smile. Cheers, folks.
Let's go. Cheers to that. Hope you're enjoying the show. Because we enjoy having you, y'all. With that being said, as I wet the whistle here, I was wrong. I underestimated the charmingly handsome, strikingly handsome Carlos Ulberg here. Yeah, man. Like you said, Volkan Ozdemir running out of time, running out of steam, and that's definitely the narrative here. Although the striking differential, literally, according to my UFC strikes, 96 strikes for VO, and we got 98 for Carlos Ulberg. So it's a 2-strike difference for talking just X's and O's. So it was close. It was a nail biter. But when you're watching it, the reality is, at least in my opinion, Carlos Ulberg's jab and his ability to land the 1-2 and really just continue to cut angles when he needed to. Volkan was chasing him down a lot. He was moving side to side well, which I liked. And he just looks like a big boy in there. Those big legs, like, just looks like a heavy son of a gun. It was just kind of marching Ulberg down, but I think he respected the power. He felt it on those jabs, and that was really the definitive factor here. It was just, Volkan not having an answer, not being able to get through the jab, and didn't really want to make it a full-on firefight until that third round when it was kind of already just, in my opinion, was a day late, a dollar short. Though, again, I mean, he landed more strikes in that first round. It just didn't feel the same. I mean, his face was all beaten, busted, bloody, bruised, beaten again. If I didn't say that enough. So when you're looking at Ulberg looking all, misted and slightly very chiseled and yes, humming and yeah, still looking beautiful as Olin's looking there with the the blue steel face going on. A little hyperbole going on, but again, I mean, I will call a spade a spade. Not an ugly guy. Yeah, man. All to say, he earned my respect. I gotta speak highly of Carlos Ulberg. I gotta eat my words here because he earned it, man. He beat a tough, legitimate light heavyweight. He's not just a pretty face, and I'm sure he's probably getting tired of those jokes. But all things aside, he's a tough son of a gun. And I do want to also reiterate, meats and potatoes victory here for our boy. We'd like to say that as well around here. We got some merch to validate it. Straight meats and potatoes. He might be the new poster child. Maybe that'll sell more merch if we put him on a shirt. But meats and potatoes W, just all jab, jab, XO, left, right, move forward, head move, left, right. Got the job done. And Volkan, you're good but not great, my brother. It's unfortunate. Back to the drawing board, but I had your back, man. I hope you know.
Stuff. He fought a who's who, Volkan Ozdemir, man. In his heyday, he's literally fought a who's who. Fun fact, like that was one of DC's first fights at light heavyweight. I mean, he's tough. It's tough. Volkan has not had an easy run, but Carlos Ulberg, I mean, first and foremost, we got to give you your flowers. Great breakdown as always, Nano. I mean, just the man, the myth, the legend. Except this myth is real. He's right fucking here, folks. He's a jive turkey son of a bitch. I love him to death. Now, one thing I don't think you mentioned a ton, and I appreciate you leaving some meat on the bone for me. Thank fucking goodness. Just a tiny morsel for me. I appreciate it. Is I mean, the fact that if Carlos Ulberg took everything out of his arsenal except for the jab cross, he still would have won this fight. And I think that's the most fucking impressive thing about it. Like, the jab cross was just money. Pop, 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 just right out of the fucking pocket every time. And it was lighting up Volkan's face. You could see the cuts welling up. You could see everything just starting to tear and break and just crumble at the gears, man. And it goes right into what I've been saying. Shout out Ola, the Fight Week show. Shout out Crossover MMA if you're still in the fucking chat. I know you guys heard me say this like a few weeks ago at this point. I've got a name written down, right? And it's not so much a name because of Carlos Ulberg and his win. It's a name because I knew this win was going to happen, even back then. It's a name because Dana White is the rich kid on the playground, right? But even if he's rich and he can afford to buy a new toy every day of the week, he doesn't want to waste that. He doesn't want to beg his dad to buy him that toy, right? So why is he going to give his shiny, fun toy to this douchebag Magomed on the playground who last time he gave his toy to him, he broke his arm or he did some weird shit with it, right? So he's not gonna give his shiny toy in Alex Pereira to Magomed Ankalaev. No. And he's not gonna give his shiny toy in Alex Pereira to a John Jones who's about to retire, right? The guy that's at the last grade before he graduates elementary school to go to middle school. This dude doesn't even like playing with toys. He's just here to break that guy. He's here to break your toy. No, folks. What's going to happen is you give Alex Pereira his first heavyweight fight against Black Jag, Carlos Olberg. Best case scenario, Alex Pereira legend continues. He gets his first heavyweight win, and then now he can call out John Jones. He can call out Tom Aspinall. He can call out whoever the fuck he wants at heavyweight, or he can go back down to light heavyweight and still have wins across 3 weight classes in UFC, which is something not a lot of modern era fighters can say. I don't know if any modern era fighters can say that across 3 weight classes. Like, that's a BJ Penn move, bro. Or worst case scenario, Alex Pereira has already said he doesn't have a ton of gas left in the tank. He doesn't have a ton of fights left in the career. Black Jag's a fucking bit of a little jaguar out here, right? A little bit of a beast, right? He's probably got a few years left. He's got a lot of tread left on those tires. He's a brand new set. So it's a win-win for Dana White, bro. It's a win-win for the kingpin of MMA. And I truly think that that's the case. I don't think that Alex Pereira fights John Jones. Too much to lose, right? Best case scenario, you lose your greatest of all time to this guy who's also about to retire. Worst case scenario, your greatest of all time ruins the guy who's currently your cash cow while you're looking for a new cash cow. Carlos Olberg, if he beats Alex Pereira, you make a new cash cow that's still young. That's money in the bank, bro. Give me that. Sign me that. Sign me the fuck up. Like, I don't know, man. I think that's the money move. Do you have a name on the tip of your tongue for the Black Jag? Walk me off the ledge here.
I do. And there's a little bit of a narrative. Oh yeah. A little bit of a narrative. There's somebody that I do want him to fight personally, but I'm not going to say his name just yet. He's coming off a tough L against Alex Pereira. Dude took a beating. Let's let him just, take the money and let him rest on his morals a little bit there. But Carlos Olberg sitting at the 7th spot as of today. I don't know if that's subject to change. I believe that is up to date based off everything that happened last Saturday or Friday night, I guess, however you want to look at it, depending on where you're located, that is. But hey, man, this is a guy that trains with the Israel Adesanya, right? And, Israel Adesanya did go up to the light heavyweight division, and he dared to be great. He fought a tough son of a gun that did out-wrestle him, that really just a little too big, a little too talented for our boy Izzy Adesanya. And it makes sense for Carlos Olberg. I think he missed an opportunity. Could have called him out because he's ranked pretty high up there, and that's a direct path to a potential title shot if you beat this guy and say, hey, you knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down now? Okay? As Rocky once said. I'm talking about a Jan Blachowicz here, ladies and gentlemen. Carlos Olberg should have called him out. Hey, you took my Aussie friend down. Why don't you try taking me down now? That's what he should have said. And then loser does a shoe, yeah? That's what he should have said. Again, I don't know these things. I just freestyling here. This is no filter. But I think that's what should be done.
I'm not mad at it. And I know I was just talking about Carlos Olberg like he was a heavyweight. I don't know where the fuck my mind is. Dude is a light heavyweight. But I still think that's the best.
I was gonna, I guess.
But I've literally been
catch weight,
I seriously think that he's gonna end up fighting. Oh, serious? See, thanks, crossover. That's literally what I was.
There we go.
No, not Yuri versus Hill. No. Olberg versus Yuri versus Hill winner. I don't know, man. I mean, I could see it happening, but at the same time, Yuri and Hill have both lost to Alex Pereira, so Olberg is fresh blood. And I think that fight makes a lot more sense than a guy who just went up from middleweight to light heavyweight, going up to heavyweight to now fight the GOAT at heavyweight. add a size disparity. So, yeah, man. I'm not mad about it, though.
And when's that fight going to happen? I know that was recently confirmed or announced. Oh, in January. Okay. So it's not too far away.
UFC 311.
Over can maybe wait. Yeah, that's going to be January 18th, it looks like. So get through the holidays, rest up, right in the beginning of the new year. You watch that fight, and then...
Love that Google only has Eileen Perez versus Carol Hosa as the only fight listed for that.
Come on, Eileen.
Dude, I didn't I joke about like that should be what she walks out to? Be so good.
That
oh,
I mean,
I think you were in Spain when I made that joke.
Probably.
I think I made that joke with fucking Sterling. Like she's got to walk out to it. Come on, Eileen. That's what I mean. In this moment, you mean everything. Dude. Oh man,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I mean, we're both stalling. Okay, we're both stalling because we both have a shot to do here.
I know that.
I know that. You know, they were fighting in China. They weren't fighting in Hong Kong, and maybe that's why the girl we bet on, Wong Kong, didn't get it done. Oh man, bad jokes aside, it was a tough night for the Joker. Right? She looked really good up until she didn't. Oh man.
We suck again.
We suck again. She did again. She looked really good up until she didn't, and that's something that we say very often in the sport of mixed martial arts because everybody has a puncher's chance, or in this case, grappler's chance. Gabriela Fernandez went out there and got it done. She did actually use the strikes to set up the grappling in that final exchange. Wong Kong was actually winning. She was pushing her opponent back, and then as she shuffled forward, she got clipped with something, kept throwing and got clipped again. And then her opponent just got that takedown. And shortly after that, that is just all she wrote with the rear naked choke, the RNC. Classic. We say it all the time. Folks, I mean, is this the last time that we're going to bet on Wong Kong? Not a fucking chance. Is this the last time we're going to bet a shot on Wong Kong? Not a fucking chance. Is this the last time I anticipate us doing a shot because of Wong Kong losing? Abso-fucking-lutely. So if you're poured up, let's fucking do this.
I like
it. Tell me what your thoughts were on this fight. Cheers. You could be anywhere in the world on this Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and you chose to be right fucking here, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Let us know what your thoughts were on this fight, and let us know what your thoughts are on the show. Cheers.
Thankful for y'all. Let's go. Cheers. As we stay hydrated here responsibly, I'm in my house of my humble abode.
The best place to drink.
The best. It is the best. And boy, were we wrong. It's very fucking wrong. Wayne Kong went out there, and as we talked about before the show, she gave it everything she got. Everything she got. Everything she got. Everything he got. Everything he got. And it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I mean, I do want to say, Gabriela Fernandez, she is a strong-looking opponent there. And they were talking about it. I think Bisping and Laura Sanko sort of jinxed that, she has a puncher's chance. I do want to also reiterate, it's been a while since we've seen Vegas get beat like this, an obvious quote-unquote favorite. And it's so obvious in this sport. That is the one silver lining. It's why we love to cover it, because you got to go out there and you got to play the game. Any given Sunday, any given Saturday, any given Friday morning, anything can happen, right? That's why we love it. And maybe that's why Gabriela Fernandez was so gosh darn mad in there and had so much anger in that punch. The reality is she landed a perfect left hand right on the button. In that sweet spot, able to turn completely over, not have to fully extend. It was like she was right there for the taking. Baseball on a T-ball set, it's going to be a home run. What are we talking about? But Wayne Kong, she was wanging, swanging, and banging. But, I think all those fights and her experience, although it's great, unfortunately in the UFC, there's a lot of fighters that have a lot of power and can Like we talked about, it's the ones that you don't see. So in terms of being countered or being caught in an unfavorable position, it's like that's gonna happen here. You can't, because I feel like in Muay Thai or other sports like kickboxing, it's a little bit more sportly or gentlemanly or well, womanly or just chivalrous, whatever you want to label it. Good sportsmanship to kind of let them go tit for tat, or hey, I'll let you deploy your striking, and then I'm gonna go ahead and deploy mine. I don't know if that's the right way to look at it. Maybe it's just a timing type thing or a rhythm. But I feel like when I'm watching it, it's like, hey, they're kind of like fighter to fighter, like kind of saying like, all right, I'm gonna bite down, let's see what you got, and I could take it, like almost in like a toughness kind of way. And so I think that part of Muay Thai or kickboxing or karate, whatever your discipline is, like that won't translate to the UFC. The gloves are smaller. The women and men punch harder. They are more technical. If you leave yourself exposed or are saying, hey, let's bite down, let's point to the center of the octagon, as Max really made more infamous as of recent. Those things can happen. But huge shout out to Gabriella. I mean, I'm okay doing that shot because, it makes me feel good. But no, hey, she earned a performance of the night. She earned it, right? I mean, who doesn't love a fighter that is going in there and nobody thinks you're going to win? I mean, any competitor, it's like going up and shutting up the naysayers or even just proving yourself right. Like, yeah, I'm that guy. Shutting down the crowd. Like those types of moments. I remember that as a young athlete growing up playing baseball or football or what have you, or being the heavy favorite and maybe losing the game. I mean, it's like you never know. I mean, these things happen, man. It's why you go out there and you play the game any given Sunday. Sounding like a broken record now, but boy, that was a fun one. Wayne Kong, in my opinion, like didn't lose a ton of stock. Like she's kind of like a Michael Chandler, in my opinion, not only because she's someone that's outside of the UFC and a little bit more on the back nine of their career, but boy, they come in and they mean violence and they are putting on a show regardless of what side of the coin they're on. That's what I learned today. I think going into this and why the odds were what they were, she looked like a world beater. I mean, the way she was knocking girls out like that, her last performance, you're like, okay, she's somebody. But now she's on the other side of it. That's how it happens, right? Max Holloway, the best of the best, man. DP. Didn't mean to bring him up with all due respect. I know it's her boy, but it's like you can be on top of the world. The next, you could be in the pits, man. So she'll bounce back like I know she will. She's a warrior and probably want a quick turnaround.
And that was Nano. He unfortunately talked trash about Dustin Poirier, and that was the end of the show there for him. We love having him on, though. He's always a great addition. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, if you could have clipped my face after, I'm like,
I wish I could have got your response. You're like, wait, what you say?
Like I caught my pants down in church or something. Like,
man, that was so good, dude. I wish I could have got your facial expression. Sorry,
the
to cut you
hostess
off.
with the mostest. I love it, brother.
Bro.
No, man. I mean, that was probably the best curtain call I could get. Rightfully so. Appreciate you, production. Hostess with the mostest over here. That's what you do. No filter. But no, man. I mean, it is what it is. You took the L. She's a hell of a competitor nonetheless. And Gabriela Fernandez now gets to take all that hype and run with it. Flyweight's got another one. Don't have a name top of mind. It gets tough, right? It's like, is she a top 15er? I mean, after something like that, you certainly can make a case because I think Wayne Kong was probably going to be in that same conversation, but don't have a name. I think just leave it to the pros there, and just we'll certainly look forward to seeing Gabriela and Wang get back in there as soon as possible.
With that being said, I mean, look, you're right. Wong Kong doesn't lose a ton of stock here. She wasn't necessarily like down a ton in that fight, but I've got a name. Folks.
Say her name. Say her name.
I'll say her name. Say her name. I used to work with her back in Louisiana. Her name is Andrea.
Oh my God.
Andrea KGB Lee. Andrea KGB Lee, actually. I think that'd be a fun striker's delight. I'm not talking for Gabby. I'm talking for Wong Kong. Okay? I want to see Wong Kong with a bounce back against my friend from Bossier City, Louisiana, Andrea KGB Lee. I think that'd be a very, very fun matchup. And then when it comes to her opponent, right? Who should her opponent face next? Well, I'll tell you who she should face next. I think that she should face someone coming off of not one but two back-to-back losses here. The Queen of Violence, of course, as we know, her most recent loss to one of our fan favorites here at this podcast, one Jasmine.
Yes, Adavatage.
Look, I mean, Ariana Lipski da Silva, longest name in MMA history, Queen of Violence. I touched her hand at UFC San Diego. Drew didn't get the picture. Fuck you, Drew. But I digress. I think this would be a really, really fun matchup. That's who I think Gabriela Fernandez should fight next. This woman is right outside of the top 15. Is Ariane Lipski da Silva. It's Ariane de Lipski. It's so
it's
weird.
New. I know.
Switched.
When they get married,
does stay there like Ariane de Lipski Silva.
Yeah.
Lipski Silva, I feel like would make more sense than Ariane Lipski da Silva.
And I'm trying to think of the nickname. Is she Queen of Violence? Is that her
She is
nickname?
Queen of Violence. She's the Queen of Violence.
So Queen of Violence, other known as
the Queen.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that was beautiful. Holy shit. I mean, if you haven't subbed, there's the reason right there.
Come on.
You come for the MMA breakdowns, you stay for the vocals. Oh, folks, we love it. Now, this fight was a tough one. This fight was definitely a tough one. But only if you're a Wong Kong fan, right? She will bounce back from this. I can't dwell any more on it. We're moving forward, folks. We had a welterweight bout between Muslim Salikov, a.k.a. the King of Kung Fu, coming in against Song Kenan, a.k.a. the guy who rocked Ian Gere. Are you pouring up another one? I forgot you picked Song. Holy shit.
Suck again.
Were you wrong on the last four?
I'm doing a halfer here. Yes, okay, if
gosh.
you must call it out. I think the world was wrong on the last one, but if we're blowing that in,
I didn't mean to call it out like that. We're doing halves. We're doing halves from here on out.
Only last three. Let's let it be known.
My gosh.
Let it be known.
I mean, we don't usually do this. And I mean, by we, I mean like both of us accumulative, because if one of us does a shot, the other one does a shot, because we're just nice guys here. I'm not trying to have people do shots by themselves. All right.
I know.
So folks, gosh, this is one of those.
It's a halfer.
I wish you would have listened to me, man.
It's a halfer. I know.
I wish you would have listened to me. But hey, next time. the king of Kung Fu. I mean, it was Kung Fu versus karate, bro. And I look, I'm a big Cobra Kai fan. You know this, but I knew Kung Fu was going to win on Saturday. So raise it up and do your breakdown, brother. To the King of Kung Fu, this is for you.
Shame on you and me.
Shame on you.
Yeah, man. I mean, what can I say? I thought Song Kenan was going to be able to get it done in his backyard. He was the hometown key. But boy, that Kung Fu guy, Muslim, came out guns a-blazing. Earned himself a 50K bonus. I mean, the kicks were obviously out to display. I knew that was a possibility. I'm sure if we run it back, I was like, it certainly can happen. I'm rooting for my guy, but Muslim is the king of Kung Fu. I mean, what do we need to say? What else is there to say? Like, and I mean, perfectly placed, perfectly timed. Like, he was throwing, and there was one point early on, he landed a spinning back kick similar to what John Jones did to Stipe, similar to what Joe Rogan pretty much coined as the Joe Rogan back kick. Thing was lethal. Thing had a lot of. It's actually not a
typical spinning back kick. I have to unmute. I'm sorry to cut in.
Lay it on me.
The standard or kind of like scientific version of it is called the rolling Sabat kick. It is a kick that was made famous in my mind when I was about, I think, 9 years old, maybe 10 years old, reading Captain America comics when he was fighting Batroc the Lipper. Fun fact. Most notable MMA fighter to ever do this inside the octagon is actually George St. Pierre. He's done it multiple times. He just hasn't gotten a finish with it like John Jones. So that's someone you see training that kick with Joe Rogan in the video that you're referencing, right? Fun fact, the comic book character that taught me that kick and the technical term, GSP played him in Captain America, the Winter Soldier. So, wow. The comic book character did the kick, and then they were like, hey, you know who should play this guy? The guy who kills people with this kick in real life.
Lord.
Just a fucking full circle moment. I'm sorry I had to share.
Serendipitous, my brother. I love it. No, that's why we're here, baby.
Savant kick, baby.
And he's a savant with the savant, man. He's a savant with the savant, okay? Need to enunciate that correctly. First and foremost, what's up, Sap? What's up? What's up, dude? How we doing? I saw.
You already know if I get on taco, it's carne asada.
Saw. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, let us know your thoughts, Sav. We're breaking things down. I'm doing another shot because I was very fucking wrong. Should listen to y'all. Muslim is a beast. He is somebody that is defying Father Time, similar to a Wonder Boy, similar to a Jim motherfucking Miller. He's someone I just want to see. I don't even care who it is at this stage. I just want to see him fight someone with notoriety, someone with a name, someone that makes a good style, because styles do make fights. So that's all I want for my boy. I don't know if you have a name. I mean, you've been hot today. You've been swinging a hot bat all night. I don't know if you got something, but lay it on me if you do. I'm giving you the Michael Keenan over here. Come on, what you got? Let's go, baby.
Everything you got. Everything you got. Yeah, man. I actually do have. I have names. So I know you were on Song K-Nan, and I didn't want to disrespect you, so I threw out a name for Song K-Nan just for funsies here, right? Coming off a loss. I think it'd be a fun matchup for him to go against either a Max Payne Griffin or a Jake the Celtic Kid Matthews. Song K-Nan. I think both of those would be really, really fun matches. In the chat. Oh, what up, Daryl Clark? My goodness. Hit him with the air horns, this guy. And also hit Sav with the air horns, folks. Let's go. Oh, my God.
DC, Sav, what up?
Sav, get the fuck out of here with this. Muslim versus one.
There we go. See, I'm glad I said that. There it is.
That's the real Kung Fu versus karate. That's what I was going to say for him.
Hive mind. Oh, damn. I literally laid it out for you.
Oh, you wanted to?
Oh, let's go. Hey, I said the name. Wasn't meaning to, but I laid it out for y'all to play it out. That's Huggy Bear 1 said. Come on, baby.
I love it, baby. I fucking love it. Oh, man. I love it. Yeah, Muslim versus Wonder Boy. So, like, people were joking and saying that this was like Kung Fu versus karate a bit, because his opponent in this fight does utilize kind of a karate style. Song K-Nan. We saw it against Ian Machado Gary, especially with the way that he stands in that karate style stance. Like he lunges a little bit. I mean, he's like, look, he's no Lyoto Machida. Let's call a spade here. But if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Am I right? Come on, folks.
You out about it.
That's an old JD Stewart line. My dad used to say that shit all the time.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
That's a good one, right?
That was phenomenal.
So yeah, man. He's not that Karate Kid, but Wonder Boy is. So give me Wonder Boy versus Muslim Salikov. That's the only name that makes sense for me. And it's like, I know Muslim Salikov is not like a legend like Wonder Boy, but to like the hard lore guys, he kind of is. Like, I like Muslim Salikov a lot. I think this dude is a beast, and he's 21-5, right? So like, if you look at kind of where Wonder Boy is right now, he's 17-8. Muslim actually has a more winning record. He has a better record. He's just not simply ranked as high. Give me that fight. Sav, your first drink is on me in 2 weeks when you drive out to meet us in Louisiana. You hear me?
Hey.
So, let's go. Once we get that guy Sterling on here, if I got to talk to this dude about that trip. Come on. With that being said, folks, we are. I was
gonna say, I hope he's
moving into the
Oh, if you did, dude.
I love that we have such a fucking hive mind when it comes to music.
Oh my god.
So
Oh, dude. I lit up like lights out front, like the Christmas tree in my living room. I was so excited. Let's go, baby.
Oh man.
Let's go.
Oh man. Little Susie, she was on the ground. She was giving the world whatever chance to excel.
Down to midnight. Great. Great song. I'm working out to that next time I go. Mark my words.
Fucking happening, folks.
Mark my words.
Muscle fatigue? No chance. No chance. When there's old 90s, 2000s music gone. So with that being said, we have the beginning of the Yan Yan parlay, folks, which of course, I'm not trying to brag, but maybe if you listen to your boy, 1 + 1 = 2. Yan plus yan equals money. So, folks, I say again, I play again. Come on. If you picked against Yan, to you. All right, folks. We had Yan Xiaonan versus Tabitha Ricci. It looked a lot like the Carlos Ulberg versus Volkan Ozdemir fight. I'll do the breakdown while you pour your shot. I'll multitask and do a halfer with you. So, look, man. We had a Yan versus Tabitha Baby Shark Ricci moment here. I really like Tabitha Ricci. But if you picked Tabitha to beat Yan, that right there, folks, well, that's a bit of a Ricci. Okay. Oh, man.
I'll give you that one.
Come on. Thank you. The 1-2 of Yan Xiaonan was just on display, and more than the 1-2, the one. Come on, the way that she was able to keep her at distance, pop that fucking jab all day. Oh man, it was just a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love seeing Yan go out there and pump the jab like that. That is just a very, very team alpha male jab cross setup there. And the footwork, you could tell that Big Dan Castillo definitely lining that playbook out, right? It looked really nice. It looked a lot like Tabitha Ricci just had trouble finding her distancing, finding her spacing. And even though she did get the only control time of the fight, as far as the 16 seconds goes, it just wasn't enough. It was too few and far between. She attempted 3 takedowns, only got 1. And again, she attempted a takedown in every single round of the fight. It's as if her coach said, no matter what, we need you to land a takedown at least once per round. That's how we're going to win this fight. But she was only able to secure the takedown 1 time, and that was in round number 2. And she got 16 seconds of control time. By the way, probably the worst round 1 I've ever seen for any fighter in the UFC. Look, she got
That's saying a lot.
Exactly. She got 0 strikes of 13 to Yan Xiaonan's 16 of 40. So pretty tough stuff. Russian Spy MMA says gay stream. Thanks, brother. You absolutely right. We stay happy up in this bitch.
I'm going to take that as the 1950s version of that. That's right.
You know
Very happy. Go spy somewhere else, you jerk.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I know Russian Spy MMA is only here waiting for us to talk about the Yan fight. And we're not talking about the Yan Xiaonan fight, right? Folks, this fight went exactly as I thought it was going to. I thought Yan Xiaonan was going to dominate. I thought she was going to have the better striking, and I thought that she was going to have the better gas tank. She proved that in dividends. Round number 1, 16 of 40 significant strikes landed. Round number 2, 25 of 54. Round number 3, 37 of 67. I mean, she might as well be a female Dustin fucking Poirier, folks. The way that she gets better with every round, the way that she becomes more accurate with every round, and the way that she honestly just lands not only more volume, but more power every round, right? Those were significant strikes. And by the way, for those of you that weren't quick enough to do the math, I'll do it for you. Round 1, 40%. Round 2, 46%. Round 3, 55%. At this rate, she's hitting 65 to 70% in a 5-round fight. and folks are in fucking trouble not named Zhang Weili. So, Nano, I know you got the shot poured up. Let's hammer that bitch and let's hear it.
Well, for the record, we both were on. I was on this Jan. We both were on this Jan.
Oh, okay.
It's Figgy where Figgy. I should.
We're just doing an early shot. We're doing the shot for the preemptive
for the co-main event, baby. Come on, cheers to us, baby. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Into the Russian Spy. Into Russian Spy MMA. I will listen. I mean, I figured Jan was going to go out there and get it done. I mean, she looked great her last fight. They mentioned it on the commentary. She built a lot of confidence going in there and fighting Weili Zhang, the best in the world, for 25 minutes. I mean, you know, you obviously want to win them all, but there are some times as a competitor you walk away and it's like, all right, I'm game. Like I got their number now. I know what it is. And, you know, she obviously bit down and was motivated. She has a great team. Uriah Faber, Team Alpha Male out there in Sacramento. Like, it's iron sharpens iron. And they're putting all eggs in this basket, being Yan Xiaonan. She looked great out there. This was a big test, both for her, both for Baby Shark, Tabitha Ricci. And we saw Tabitha Ricci focus. She did not make a lot of mistakes. But the reality is, like, for her to get to show her best self, to get to her game, she had to, like I was saying earlier, like, have that kind of F-it moment. Like, I'm gonna bite down on my mouthpiece. I'm gonna take a couple shots, but I'm gonna make it nasty. I'm gonna make it muddy. I'm gonna get in the phone booth with her and I'm gonna get her down. I'm gonna show her how strong I am. Everything she tried to do, that being Baby Shark, Tabitha Ricci, every type of deployment she had offensively, just Jan had an answer for her. I mean, she was a step ahead. She was stronger. She was faster. She was more violent, like more productive. Yeah, and maybe just a little bit more well-rounded at this stage in her career. I think Tabitha Ricci has all the makings to be someone that's tough as nails, that can be someone we're talking about for the long time, have a number by her name for as long as she wants. But yeah, someone like Jan, I mean, she's just so tough. She's so talented and just proved to be the better fighter. I mean, there's no other way around it. I'll leave some meat on the bones here, brother. Here's your breakdown and what stood out to you in Jan's performance, or maybe what Tabitha did well, maybe what she didn't do well. Hey, man, it's no filter. So tell us how you saw it, brother.
So yeah, man. I mean, again, like I said before, I think Jan's biggest kind of differential here was the 1-2 and the fundamentals. Like, Tabitha Ricci is someone who's been able to rely on her ability to get gritty, right? Whenever other people give up, she gets gritty. And in this fight, that just simply didn't work. If you never find your footing, you never find your range or your distance for even just simply your jab, it's extremely tough to settle in and be like, all right, I'm going to bite down on my, like you mentioned this, I think 2 or 3 fights ago, like a lot of times, more often than not, you do have the ability to say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm biting down on the mouthpiece and we're going into the war, baby. Whatever the calls may, wherever the cards fall, they're falling, but that's not the case in this fight, because Tabitha Ricci was never really able to find her grounding in this fight. We're talking about a fight where someone landed 89 total strikes to 17. Like, we're talking about a 6-1 differential here. That's very tough. That's extremely tough. And if you talk about significant strikes, again, 78-15. You're talking about a 5-1 differential on significant strikes landed. And by the way, Yan Xiaonan wasn't playing favorites, right? She was hurting the body. She was hurting the legs, more so the body, obviously, but the body and the head were just nasty stuff from her. She was piecing up Tabitha Ricci. I truly think there's not a whole lot of things you can do for Yan Xiaonan other than a fight in a title contender matchup, right? Either that or another title shot for her, but it's tough because Zhang Weili's already beaten her. So that's what makes it so tough. Literally, her fight before this was a unanimous decision loss to Zhang Weili. So where do we go from here, right? I think we go with a fight against Virna Karkara Jandiroba, right? Look, let's go. We got Tatiana Suarez pulling out of the fight because of another injury. Virna Jandiroba's looking for a fight, as Dana White says. I think that fight makes a lot of sense for Yan Xiaonan. And before I pass you the torch back over here, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't give you a pick for Tabitha Baby Shark Ricci. So for Tabitha Ricci, what should be next for this lady? Well, I think you can't give her someone ahead of her after a loss. You got to give her a little bit of a step, not necessarily down, but back, right? As far as rankings, I think you give her a Karolina Kowalkiewicz. What do you think, Nano?
Interessante. Is she still ranked, or is she out of the ranking? And do you think Carolina deserves that chance to get ranked? Is that how we're looking at it?
I mean, that's the thing. Like she is still ranked.
Oh,
I think she's ranked number 15, or actually, no, she fell out of the rankings. Yeah, so Ricci did fall out of the ranking. Or sorry, Ricci is number 10. The opponent I listed has just recently fallen out of the rankings. I'd assume she's sitting at like number 16.
Yeah.
After that last loss.
Yeah.
Very recently.
Yeah. That would be great for her, right? If it's like, hey, making a shot, or obviously looking at that 10 through 15. If there's anyone there that doesn't have a dance partner, that maybe makes sense. I'm sure the UFC's calling their lines. What up? 5-week show. Smash the likes up. Smash them up. That's right. Smash, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate it all. We'll return the favor. We'll follow you back on your platforms as well. Don't get it twisted. We are all here to build a community. That's what it's all about. But yeah, man, in terms of what's next for both these gals, I like where your head's at. I think with Tabitha, yeah, hey, stay relevant. Get out there, like, lick your wounds, and just get back on the chopping block. Maybe hire a good boxing coach or kickboxing coach and sort of develop that game so you can help yourself get to where you love to be, which is grappling, wrestling, on top, grounding and pounding. But you got to have some more entrances. You got to have some more offensive plays, some more just ways to get yourself in those positions. And I think this was a good learning lesson. Hopefully she takes it and runs with it. But yeah, to your point, anybody can get this smoke with the Tabitha of the Baby Shark Ricci. She's kind of established herself as someone that is most of the time maybe the A side, or someone that we're going to be tuned in wanting to watch fight. So excited to see what's next for her. But Jan's also in a very tough spot as well, right? You mentioned Virna Jandiroba. I don't know if she's supposed to fight Tatiana, or if that's confirmed, or maybe that's still being eyeballed. Tatiana's someone as well. I mean, no, it's not happening. Okay.
Tatiana got injured. It's an undisclosed injury, and it hasn't been rescheduled or talked about yet.
Then it's Virna.
So I mean,
then it's Virna. Yeah.
And also with Tatiana, like she's had to take a lengthy layoff due to literal like sickness, cancer. And then she's after that come back and had to take multiple layoffs due to injuries. It's tough. I feel bad for Tatiana because I've been saying for years that she's literally like a female Khabib, but I mean, medical issues are medical issues, right? Like it's tough because we can't even use it as a tarnishing factor on your MMA career. It's just outside indicators. So it's tough. It is tough.
Yeah, you hate to see it. You hate to see it for sure. So then Virna is obviously the pick there. As I've said, R.I.P. Tatiana. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and as you get older, it's like, and more things start to compile. It's like, what are we fighting for here? Maybe fight the good fight and just focus on your health. But yeah, Jan, great performance. She proved to be the better mixed martial artist. And the 5 week show. Appreciate the kind words. Just trying to keep up with you. Let's go.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Fucking Leroy.
Leroy.
If it was Ola, I would think he's being truthful. It's Leroy, so I know he's just flirting with me.
Here we go. Cheerio. I love it. He's mine, so he's taken. He's accounted for. I'll fight you for him. No, come on. We keep it PG. No, I love it. Give me more Jan. Even though she's in a tough spot, you're going to be a huge matchup. Tabitha Ricci, lick your wounds, like I said. Get back in there as soon as possible. Anyone with another ranked opponent, I'll be watching and I'll be rooting for you. But this next one, I think we do got a shot to
Put
do
him up, put
because
him up. Put him up.
I fudged up here. I should have went with the double Jan. Why didn't I go with the double Jan?
I tried to tell you, bro. Like, the card is literally happening at 3 a.m. If you're not betting on Jans, what are you even betting on, bro? Come on.
I was definitely wiping the eye boogers and I was yawning a lot, trying to watch him, and then I was like, nope, I'm gonna on demand watch it later. I'm a little too sleepy.
Leroy, my fucking guy. PG on a no filter show, shaking my head. Olin back to being my favorite. That's why
well.
you're my guy. Leroy, let's go. Some of the best editing and videos in the game. All right, folks. If you're not following the Fight Week show, you gotta do.
I love it. I love it.
With that being said, we got another Jan shot here. Nano. I know you got it poured up. Piotr Jan.
Salud.
He's doing a shot for Russia tonight. Is my guy Nano. Nano doing the shot. Cheers, folks.
Yano.
This is to you.
He's back, man. I'll drink to that happily. Let's go. This was a great fight. I mean, and honestly, I'm happy to drink to this fight altogether. It lived up to the hype. It was a masterclass on both sides. Mixed martial arts at its highest level. Violence. I mean, dudes that wanted it. Like Sav is happily chiming in here. Appreciate we're on the same team. I wanted Figgy to win as well. I was rooting for him. I felt like Jan just had something against him. Like he just wasn't able to get it done when the lights were the brightest. But boy, did he show up, and he showed up in exciting fashion. The boxing was there to be displayed, and I'm glad. And honestly, the thing is too with Jan, he's crafty, man. He's crafty on the floor. He's crafty on his feet. I totally forgot about his quote-unquote signature takedown, but the leg trip is just a thing that's just so filthy.
The Muay Thai
demoralizing.
Leg sweep? Are you
my God, dude. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
Oh, my God. Every time I see that happen in a fucking cage fight, I'm like,
oh, bro.
It's just a chuckle moment. I literally I think I was literally in a casino at fucking Vegas, and I saw it happen on my phone. I'm like, Jan. I definitely had at least two people stare at me like, what the fuck is happening on this guy?
Bro, I know this guy. Yeah, man. That's how it be sometimes. I mean, it was, dude, that was a fun fight. I mean, fun 25 minutes. Jan showed up. A couple of things too, and I'll leave you to it as well, but he made his adjustments in terms of the coaching and saying, hey, don't forget about the uppercut. Don't forget about the uppercut. And so in that first round, you saw Figgy being able to find some success with the takedowns, with the wrestling game. And I thought that was going to be the beginning of the end. I thought, okay, he's going to stick it here. He's going to continue to do this. But Jan got almost an immediate reversal, got back on top, got out of there, got to where he needed to get, and was really showcasing the boxing pedigree. I mean, the 1-2 slip, uppercut, and then really relying on that uppercut. His coaches, hey, don't forget that uppercut's there. Then the second round, it starched Figgy, and that really, really changed the narrative for me. As someone that's rooting for Figgy, that's someone that's watching it and thinking, okay, what's going to happen here? Is he going to have an answer? But, dude, Jan's crafty. He had an answer for everything. He got back up. He looked strong as well. And I think that's what ended up happening here, especially when it came to the boxing and just overall. Like, Figgy plays bully ball a little bit. I talked about that. Like, he's now up in a division where guys are just as big as him or just as strong or have their own specialty in terms of the skill set. And Figgy wasn't able to play bully ball. Like, that's what it boiled down to. Yes, he was stronger. Yes, he had his moments. But the wind in that sail was going to slowly fade. In fact, it happened maybe quicker than I was hoping to see. But then Jan ripping the body, like ripping the boxing, like Jan is special. Like, that was really the reminder for me as a Sugar fan, as someone that's seen Jan just unfortunately, and Piotr Jan I'm talking about here, just come across some tough guys. Like, he just had really a tough stretch. Like, that's why I compared him to the Bills or the current day 49ers, where it's like you're going to the Super Bowl, but you're just not getting over the hump. and he is the next champ still, so I say that, but it's like that even sounds a little disrespectful. It's like the reality is like Piotr's a special fighter. Figgy is the next champion as well. That's why this matchup was so exciting, and again, it lived up to the hype. But Jan's that dude, man. He's still that dude. He's special. He's crafty. Great fight IQ, and boxing. Hails supreme here in this mixed martial arts affair. But I'm gonna toss it back to you. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on who's next as well. But break it down for us. No filters, we like to say, and I don't know, maybe to please the Fight Week show, maybe throw in some curse words or something inappropriate. I don't know. They like that kind of stuff.
Well,
what do you got, boy?
Look, man, look. I'm gonna go ahead and start off by saying I can't believe how crazy this mother fight was. This is definitely the No Filter show, and if you don't believe that, you can go and suck a big fat wet. Okay, look, man, straight up though, this fight was insane. And insane, by insane I mean insanely good. If you were betting on Peter Yan. 50-45 on not one, not two, but all three of the judges' scorecards. Shout out to the judges for this one, for getting it right for a change. We got Sal D'Amato. This is Drew fucking loves that. Make sure you timestamp that one for that motherfucker. David Lethaby, 45-50. Shout out. And Clemens Werner, not a name we've said very often, but a name I hope we say more often here after this 45-50 scorecard. With that being said, folks, I mean, Peter Yan went out there and did fucking work. Let's go ahead and break it down on a round-by-round basis, shall we? So, Peter Yan, round number 1, 6 of 6 significant strikes landed. 42 of 42 total strikes landed. Just in case you're really fucking bad at math, looking at you, Leroy. Wink, wink, kiss, kiss. Look, man, that was literally 100% landed ratio here, as far as the total and significant strikes go. So 100% for both. His opponent, though, we gotta give Davison Figueiredo. I know Yan was Yan. Oh my god, I was gonna say Yano. Nano was on Peter, not Peter. He was on the other guy. Oh, that's right, he was on Davey. Figgy, can't you see? Nano. I gotta give it up for your boy. He also landed 100% of his attempted strikes in round number 1. There was only one of them, but he landed it. So good on him. You know what I'm saying? No cheers. No cheers for the one strike landed in 5 minutes. All right, we'll move forward. Moving into round number 2, we had 32 of 49 for Piotr Yan. Significant strikes. And when we come to total strikes, crazy different number. You're not ready for this. 32 of 9. That's right. Every single attempted strike considered significant. But we go to his opponent. Hey, you know what, Nano? You know me. I'm one for being optimistic, right? If I was a transformer, I'd be Optimus Prime. Look, folks, bad jokes aside, he did land 10 for 30 on his significant strikes and 10 for 30 on his total strikes. So same as our guy, Piotr Yan, every strike thrown, he tried real hard for it to make a real big impact. Okay, that counts for something. Moving into the third round, we had 21 for 36 on significant strikes, right? And 28 for 44 on total strikes. So again, vast majority of what was being thrown for Piotr Yan was considered significant. Davison Figueiredo. Now, Nano might actually definitely agree with this. When it comes to what was happening in that third round, I saw it coming, right? I literally said that every single thing that Figgy throws, right? I was stalling until he got his headphone back in. Every single thing that Figgy throws is significant, and that's a problem. I think I said that last week. Whereas Piotr Yan is a very relaxed Muay Thai striker. He's the MMA equivalent to a Sanchai, right? Like, he's not throwing hard. He's just landing hard. He's not trying supremely hard. He's just fucking throwing hard. The Fight Week show said, nah, I seen that. Nano owes us a shot. I
synced it.
My guy
synced it, man.
He synced it. He synced it.
He's right. He was ruthless, man.
Oh, man. He's ruthless. Call him Robbie Lawler because he's ruthless right now. Ruthless, he ain't got no fucking roof. I synced it. So look, man, I called it. I can quickly skim through the next 2 rounds because I called it there too. Round number 4, round number 5. Davison, Figgy, can't you see Mr. Figueiredo himself? 30 attempted strikes in round number 4, 33 attempted strikes in round number 5. Guess how many of those were significant? Well, if you guessed 100%, ding, 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 you are correct. Give him an air horn. Because every single one of the strikes that this man threw was a significant strike attempt. 119 strikes thrown, 119 significant strike attempts. Shrimped. I combined 2 words. Now his opponent, and this is why he won, 263 total strikes, 193 significant strike attempts. Mind you, he landed 190 of them compared to 53 of Figueiredo. So Figueiredo, I mean, he was throwing everything and the kitchen sink, as we like to say, right? He was throwing everything into those strikes. But I mean, you got to be like Goku. You got to be like Vegeta, right? You got to save the Kamehameha and the fucking final flash for the end. And that's what Jan did, right? He preserved the gas tank. I will tell you this. Least amount of significant strikes landed for Piotr Jan, round number 1. Most amount of significant strikes landed for Piotr Jan. No, do you want to take a crack at it?
Ooh, you're throwing up the 5.
It's Pamela Henderson and her 5 friends.
Oh,
round number 5. Let's go, baby. You already know what it is. You already know it. I love that you laughed at their joke because that means you've heard it before, and that is why we're friends.
I got you. If you know, you know.
Hey, oh man. You see that? You used to not give a fuck about discretion. I seen you pulling somebody's jawbone off. I synced it. You was ruthless, man. Ruthless. Shout out to Leroy in the fucking chat with the best movie references. I'm gonna have to add Nano to that group chat on WhatsApp if he has WhatsApp, because that is definitely one of the more exciting and active MMA chats I have ever been in my life.
I need that for sure.
Dude, shout out to those guys. And shout out to Leroy for the reference.
All right. Good job, champ.
Let's go, baby.
Let's fucking go, champ. Nano, I know you poured up another shot because Leroy called for it. So I'm going to do one with you.
He synced it, man. And he gave me the full reference. How do I not?
I'm just going to pour it out. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Appreciate y'all.
Final one of the show, folks. If you're not already liked, commented, and subscribed, do it now. This is the best opportunity. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Cheers, folks.
Salud. Let's
Salud.
go. I learned my lesson, y'all. Jan is the man. He's the man with the plan.
Look, we learned our lesson with the fact that if a fight is at 3 a.m., right? If a fight is literally at 3 a.m. start time, you should probably bet on the people that are literally named Jan. I think that is fairly safe, right?
Sure right about it.
And I mean, come on. If you don't bet on the people named Jan when the fight card is literally starting at 3 a.m., the main card for that matter, I mean, all I got to say is
Lick my balls. Yeah.
and that wasn't me, obviously. That was Rick Sanchez. That was for the Fight Week show. I know he loves those fucking sound clips. That Rick tells me every time. Ha-ha! Let's go, champ! Wubba lubba dub dub! Say it all the time. Sav in the chat says still picking Figgy next time. Well,
That's fact.
I love that because that means I'm going to bet you a double shot and $20 on that one.
Oh,
It's if the fight is at 3 a.m., don't bet on Leon Edwards. I didn't read that before I clicked it into the screen. That was funny. That was really good.
that was a good one. That's good.
Oh, Leroy, you son of a bitch. That was a good one. Oh, man. Sav said, so worth waking up for. That card was good. So good. Top to bottom.
Facts. Couldn't agree more, Sav.
I mean, come on. I wasn't even tired after that. Had me looking for fucking tiredness. Like, where are you? I'm so sorry. I'm in the city that never fucking sleeps. That's right. I was in Las Vegas.
That's right. Let's go.
I know. I'm super fucking corny. Deal with it. So, with that being said, folks, that's it for the fight card. That is it for the overall breakdown. But, Nano, there are other stories to talk about this week. So, I mean, obviously, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, at the very least, real quick, Conor McGregor, recently convicted in his court case against Nikita Sky of rape. Do you think we're gonna go partial? We're gonna do a partial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look, I just read the Fight Week Show's comment.
Let me get my lawyer.
It completely derailed me. I'm gonna need a lawyer for this one. You know what I'm saying?
We should never take things for granted.
Like those comments. No. She won the case. And the only thing I'm really like asking you here is, do you ever think that we see Conor McGregor in the UFC octagon again? Because I used to say that because he has Proper 12, because he has all these endorsements, he doesn't ever need to fight again. Proper 12 dropped him today. After Tesco and numerous other retailers dropped Proper 12 today. So Proximo Spirits and Proper 12. Yes, I did.
Because he sold his shares, I thought now, but he officially.
But he was still the face. They've taken his face off of everything. He's no longer.
Gotcha.
They've cut ties with him entirely.
Made it formally. Yeah. Oof.
Oh man.
Yep, that's right. That's right, Morty. Oh man. Oh, geez, Rick.
Oh man.
It's bad.
I don't think so. Then I guess with that all in mind. And I know Michael Chandler would probably tell you otherwise, but he's not in the room. He's on the pod, and he's not living in this world if he truly feels that way. So no, I don't think he's ever. I think we've seen the last of Conor McGregor, and I'd rather stay that way, to be honest with you.
All right.
Thank you.
I mean, Morty's just popping in here, bro. I'm doing that. I'm doing that for you, Leroy. And I know you like it. Look, man. I think it's the opposite. I think if there were ever a chance for us to see Conor McGregor fight again, and I'm bringing the mic very close to my face hole for this one. Okay. I think this is the chance for us to see Conor McGregor fight again because now he don't have that whiskey money. You know what I say? Now he needs the money. Look, he made $600 million on the deal with Proximo Spirits to sell Proper number 12 to them, but he still kept endorsement deals and things like that. How much do you think a Lamborghini yacht costs, Nano?
I'm thinking at least 7 figures, right? Maybe 8. But if I had to put a number, oh my god, like 10 mil. So a Lamborghini yacht costs on average $3.5 million. Now, it's not the boat cost that gets you. It's the maintenance. It's the parking fees and things like that. As Miss Mary 616 said, shout the fuck out. It's gonna need some cocaine money. You know what I'm saying? Some cocaine. Is definitely gonna need some cocaine money. I definitely agree. Mouring fees. Look, man. He's. I mean, there's just no way around it. He's gonna need cocaine money. And right now,
I mean, to my knowledge, there is no Roadhouse 2 in the books. So it's tough. It's tough with him losing that case. I think he does fight again. So my question now, before we call it a wrap, is this. If in your heart of hearts you could see him fight anybody in the world of mixed martial arts, who would you like to see him fight?
Oh, man. It's kind of between two people, I feel like. And it's either Dustin, because just I'd pay to see them fight 9 times out of 10. It's the whole build up, everything to it. But another kind of dark horse after everything was said and done. Another guy just wants to see get a payday and can also just make a narrative and make a name for himself, even though he already has. But a Max Holloway. Just straight F it. Like, just want to see them throw down. Those would be the guys. I think Connor thinks he could beat him. So I'm like, yeah.
I would keep one name of yours, and I would trade out the other one. So I'd keep Max.
Talk me. Oh,
I'd trade out
Max.
The other one. I'd keep Max, and I'd trade out the other one for a Dustin Part 4. He keeps saying doctor stoppage, blah, blah, blah. Like, look, Shiming was nowhere near the octagon there. Okay. It was not a doctor stoppage. It was a Dustin Poirier stoppage. You check those leg kicks or those body kicks, which, fun fact, elbow checking body kicks is something that Khabib did against Dustin Poirier. So he literally Sharingan-eyed that move against Conor McGregor, which is what snapped the shin bone of Conor McGregor. So, folks, give me Dustin the Diamond Poirier for a 4th big-ass payday. Put it in the New Orleans Superdome against Conor McNuggets. And that's the payday. Otherwise, you give it to Max Holloway and you make it happen at lightweight. Not for the BMF belt, because that motherfucker has to be active, and that just ain't the definition of Conor McGregor. He's not the BMF. Unless baddest is in the literal term.
I do.
Bad jokes aside, folks. That's it. I mean, I think Conor McGregor has to fight that guy. Either Max Holloway or Dustin Poirier. Either way, not an easy match for him. It's basically just going to be a payday for Conor McGregor to go out there and, in my eyes, probably get beat by either of those opponents. I think Max does bad things to him these days. And I think Dustin Poirier continues to do the same thing he did to him in the last 2 matches out of 3. With that being said, Nano, you have anything else to add before we do the sign off here, brother?
In terms of what's next for these guys, I mean, honestly, if I'm Piotr, I think I just wait. Honestly, back to that topic, because I don't think I mentioned anything there. But I think just wait, see if Umar gets the title shot or what's next. If you get Sugar, I guess that's a payday. Maybe you take that fight, but I don't know. I think you just wait if you're Piotr, and hopefully you're up next for Merab, or if it's Umar, or maybe Umar can't go, then maybe it's Merab versus Piotr. That'd be a fun fight. Rematch there. Try to get your title back. But Piotr's a fun one. Anyone you sign up the dotted line for, it's going to be a banger. And he's beat a lot of these guys. Like, there's a lot of that cross-pollination. So it's like no one else knew is definitive. I think he beat Figgy. That was the next guy. Maybe one of these guys have to be fighting for a title next, I would assume. But Figgy sitting at the 5 spot. Kind of similar boat where it's like, you beat Chito already at 6. Like, you fought a lot of these other guys. Like, I don't know how low you really want to go, for playing a limbo here. But, I mean, maybe a triple C potentially. Maybe he would go for that, ex-champ versus ex-champ. I know Henry likes those type of narratives, but at the same time, I don't know how serious he is about fighting. And I don't know how serious I am about watching him fight. So, yeah, Figgy, I think you just wait until someone calls you and you sign and you pick up the phone. Maybe a Song Yadong. I mean, Song lost to Yan. Maybe there's a little bit of a story there. Both guys trying to make their way back up. But Figgy's established. He's a dude at this division. But that's who's next for them. And then, yeah, man, to wrap it all up, furthermore, thankful for you, my brother. Thankful for all that you do for the podcast, for the MMA community, And just as a man, as a leader, as an older brother from another, it's like, yeah, appreciate, thankful that you do, man. And thankful for the community we got here. We got 17 live. We've had a handful here in the chat, the Savs of the world, the Miss Marys, my better half as well, Amy. Thankful for everyone. Thankful for the family, for good health, and thankful for a lot of good food. I think you asked a question earlier in terms of best dishes or things that are on the plate. And this might be a bold take here, but I think if I could only pick a couple things, I'm going ham over turkey. So ham is the meat that's on my dish. And I'm going the sweet potato casserole. It's my mom's favorite. It's good. It's got marshmallows, it's got cornflakes, it's got raisins or cranberry raisin type stuff. It's good. Trust me, y'all, if you haven't had it before. But make room for that. Probably over the mashed potatoes, or I'll make room for the mashed potatoes and gravy as well. But again, ham, sweet potato casserole, and then, pumpkin pie. That's it. And some rolls. Obviously some rolls.
Is pumpkin pie your favorite pie for Thanksgiving?
I do like sweet potato pie as well. I will take pecan pie. That's probably the dark horse. But pumpkin pie, it's like, I'm having a slice of pumpkin. That's mandatory, but I'm taking a big slice of pecan. I'm taking some pecan home. That's
what I'm saying. Like, I'm fighting somebody when it comes to like pecan pie not making the
pecans.
Cut, bro.
No, pecans go off. No. It's slept upon. And there's like a ranking that I saw earlier where pumpkin pie is $5. I think apple pie is $4. Pecans $1. I'm like $1 value.
I'm getting 5 pies. If I have $5,
I'm getting 5 pies. That's value pick. That's value pick. It's a value pick. Come
baby.
on. Come on.
And let me tell you, when it came to making pies back in my place growing up, I grew up in Louisiana, like in Bossier City specifically. We'd move very often, but back when I lived in Bossier City, back in them hard streets, of North Louisiana.
You heard?
You heard me? Look, man, we had 2 pecan trees in our yard. So like mom would be like, hey, you want pecan pie? Go pick up some pecans. So I'd go and fill up like a Walmart bag with 5 pounds of fucking pecans. And like mom would just make the pie crust. And then the filling out of the pecans that she'd crack. So it's a good setup. And now I have nieces and a nephew, and they pick the pecans. And so I'll be having mama's homemade pecan pie in about 2 weeks, folks. I'm super stoked on it. I'm ready for it.
That sounds fire. That sounds fire.
It's money. It's money. She's gonna be making gumbo, all that good stuff, man. I can't.
Oh shoot. Okay, so that's what your Thanksgiving's looking like, or
look, man. We're gonna have the normal Thanksgiving stuff. We're gonna have all that stuff, but we're gonna have normal Thanksgiving stuff this week, and then in 2 weeks we're doing like a Christmas Thanksgiving with my mom and them in Louisiana.
Yeah,
and man,
we should never take things for granted.
That's all I'm saying. Great pecan pie, and I don't know if the gumbo is better than mine simply because I don't have to spend 5.5 hours making it. But it is better than mine either way.
There's something about it. There's something about it.
I'll take that and not having to spend 5.5 hours making it.
You know the vibes.
We tried to wait for Sterling. We really, really did, folks. We really, really did. And who knows? Maybe we'll record another episode for the coming weeks with him very, very soon. Do we ever touch tips? Only on the holidays. Only on the holidays 5 week. Yeah. And right now, he's in AZ. I'm in CA. It's a little bit too far. I
wish I could. I wish I could have the extension, but
they are fucking huge. You can see them from space, but not that big. We can't touch tips from here.
Minimal bulge.
Look, all jokes aside, folks, we appreciate each and every one of you fight fans for sticking around for the 2 hours and 8 minutes that we have now been live. You could be anywhere the day before Thanksgiving, but instead, you chose to be right freaking here, and we really, really do appreciate it. So, folks, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. And if you've been in the live chat, we appreciate the fuck out of you. If you really want to just bow down to the all-seeing algorithm, please leave us a comment after the show wraps up. Either way, we appreciate the fuck out of you. And above all else, we only ask that you do one thing and one thing only. That is, keep on going. And keep on going. Fuck, I guess it's 2 things. We're going to ask you to do 2 things, all right? Keep on going and keep on growing, folks. Thanks to each.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.